Hey, if you're a health pro that would really like to start putting out content for your short form audience like Instagram and TikTok, but you have no idea where to start, then I'm going to show you a very easy content strategy that you can use starting today. I'll show you 3 content styles that you can create right away. But before we do that, my name's Phil. I'm a business health architect for health businesses and practitioners, and I've been selling health products and services for the last 10 years, from personal training and physiotherapy all the way to retreats, workshops, and digital courses. Okay, let's get to the video. We all know content is king right now, and by far, the most important reason you should start putting out content is because it's the easiest way to reach the people that you want to work with. And all it takes is for you to have a great thumbnail. The rest you can perfect as you go. So with all the content types I'm about to show you, I want you to remember that the thumbnail is the most important part of the video, followed by having a good hook. Now, the 3 content styles that have worked for my clients and myself are: number 1, the talking head video. This is where you just talk directly to the camera. Number 2, the walking video. This is where you walk and talk to the camera at a 45-degree angle. And 3, B-roll with captions. And this is where you use B-roll with a catchy tune plus some text to hook your viewers in, then have a really good caption in the comment section so people get value from reading. Okay, now let's go through how you do it. The first one is the talking head video. In this format, you're going to talk directly to the camera about your topic, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And to make it easier for yourself, I actually recommend that you write out a script beforehand. But you might run into a problem where the writing sounds nothing like how you would speak normally. So to prevent this, as you're writing the script, talk out loud at the same time. This way you can hear exactly what it sounds like as you're typing it out. And so when you reread it in front of the camera, it actually sounds like you. Now here's how you want to organize your script. For short form content, get straight into the topic of the video. So if you want to talk about a rotator cuff tear and 3 exercises that help, that's exactly what you should say in your first 5 to 7 seconds. For example, I would say, hey, if you've just been diagnosed with a rotator cuff tear, I'm going to show you 3 exercises that you should do in the first 2 weeks that won't make it worse. That is the topic. And then in the next 5 to 7 seconds, you want to implement what we call a hook, which is where you would build anticipation. So you might say something like, and the last exercise is what most people get wrong in their rehab, or the second exercise is what most people get wrong, but you're basically giving them a teaser to keep watching to the end of the video. After that, get straight to the value of the video. So show them the 3 exercises with a very brief explanation, and then end with an outro, which is where you have a soft call to action. So if they want to contact you, they have a next step. So for example, you might say, and by the way, if you need any help, send me a message or leave a comment in the comment section. So your content might start like this. If you've just been diagnosed with a rotator cuff tear, I'm going to show you 3 exercises you need to do in the first 2 weeks that won't make your injury worse. And the crazy thing is, most patients get the 3rd exercise wrong, which actually increases their pain. Now the first exercise is, and that's it. You might want to add some B-roll of you doing the exercises as you explain, so there's a visual. But if you're just starting, I would keep it very simple and just talk to the camera. Now, logistically, if you have a separate camera like a DJI, that's great because you can upload your script onto your phone and just read from there as you record. I wouldn't worry about keeping an eyeline in the beginning because you can always fix that by buying a teleprompter. Even as I'm making this video, I'm reading from my phone and I don't stress too much about looking directly into the camera because it's just faster for me to glance down and come back up without having to cut and chop and pause the video every single time. Okay, and now for the second format, the walking video. Now the walking video is exactly the same as the talking video in terms of scripting. However, you want to walk in a place that is appealing in the background, like a nature walk or a beach, or even if you just have a nice street. And you want to do that holding the camera in front of you, side on like this, as you walk and you talk through the script. Now, the reason you do the walking video is mainly because most people are more natural and less awkward when they're doing something else and talking to the camera. So if you feel really awkward or you just can't talk directly to the camera without always stuttering or feeling like a fool, I would suggest you start with a walking, talking video. Now, to do this properly, you would definitely need your phone plus another camera, which could be another phone or a DJI. Upload your script into the phone and then record yourself talking through the script. So what I would do is I would record my camera like this as I'm walking, and I'd have my phone in my other hand so that I can read the line and then repeat it to the camera. Now, if you make a mistake, don't worry, just keep recording and repeat the line because you can always edit out your mistakes in post-production, and the chopping and changing from the edits itself actually retains your viewer more because the frame changes slightly and it becomes more engaging every time you edit. Now let's move on to the last video format, which is B-roll with captions. So the B-roll with captions is the laziest and easiest way of pushing out content if you're not confident speaking on camera, but you have a talent of writing good pieces. First, you need to record yourself doing stuff that's semi-relevant to your audience, like If you're a physio, then footage of you training or helping a patient or even just performing rehab exercises is good enough. And you want to record a lot of these, like 20 or 30 pieces of content, and make sure it's about 10 to 15 seconds long. Then you upload the video as a reel and you text overlay the topic and the hook with a call to action to read the captions. From there, you will create a really great caption, give them value, and then you have a simple call to action for whatever you comment for help, send me a DM, book a call, book a consult, whatever it is. This is the fastest way of producing content, especially if you just don't like talking in front of a camera. And if you combine this with talking and walking head videos, you have an entire full content strategy. Now, here's a bonus tip. Your thumbnail needs to be more risk-oriented, not because we want to scare people, but because it's what captures people's attention. And it's more important that it's clear than it is pretty. For example, if I want to show someone how to cut weight properly for a fight, I wouldn't have a thumbnail that says how to cut weight. I'd create a thumbnail that says most fighters miss weight because they don't understand this. And that's because one is just like, how do you do something versus the other one, which is like, this is how you mess it up. Another example would be 3 rotator cuff exercises for your rotator cuff tear, which would then become 3 rotator cuff exercises you're missing in your rotator cuff tear. Simple changes like this make a world of difference to who clicks through and watches your video. Because unfortunately, even if you have the greatest video, if nobody watches it, then it's a useless video. And there you have it. 3 very easy ways to start creating content for your audience. And hey, just real quick before you go, if you want to learn more about business and sales in the health industry, I've written a trilogy of books called the Clinician's Handbook Trilogy. In book 1, I'll teach you how to rebook patients without being pushy. In book 2, I'll teach you how to retain patients without being sleazy. And in book 3, I'll teach you how to handle patient objections without pressure. It's helped over 700 clinicians all around the world, and I'm sure it's going to help you too. If you would like to grab a copy, just click in the description box below. Use a great thumbnail and hook and adapt it to either a talking head video, a walking head video, or a 7-second B-roll video. Thanks for watching. Ciao.